Even the early show's late. How does that work? I was packing. Anyway, it's going to be a short show, so let's get into the headlines. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart, and as you can see, Bitcoin has started to come down. Not a lot. It hasn't come down a lot. It's come down from 58,000. It's just touched 58,000 down to 55,000. So you're talking about 5 or 6% correction. That's not the big news for us degens. The big news for us is this little tantino, and that is, the fact that the Bitcoin dominance has now started to come down and create this tantino. Because some of us were worried. I mean, the Bitcoin maximalists weren't worried, but some of the degens were worried. So today we're going to look at what happened. What happened? What brought the Bitcoin price down? Where did the money go? Because if we can track where the money went, maybe that's where we can make some life-changing money. Then I also want to talk about the giveaways, because I've still got giveaways to give away. I also have, look at this. This is so beautiful. This is the Three Kingdoms, TTK, trading at 30 cents, 31 cents. Can you see 31 cents? Sheldon, come look here. Come look here, Sheldon. Come look here. Come look here, Sheldon. You see, that is trading at 31 cents, you see? Mm-hmm. Community got it at 1.6 cents.
20x.
20x, 20 times your money. So if you put in $500,
$10,000.
$10,000.
Congratulations.
And I'm still giving away 2 of those. So I'm giving away $20,000 a show. So it's going to be a massive show. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get the show on the road. When I say let's get the show on the road, that's when you hit the video. Okay, so that is a TTK chart, the Three Kingdoms, trading at 31 cents. If you got into the IDO, congratulations. If you're one of the winners from yesterday, congratulations. You got yourself $500 of this, and it went 20x. So what happens if you take $500 and you times it by 20x? What happens? You get how much money? $10,000. L, come here, L. Come here, L. Bring your camera, L. Bring your camera. You see, this is, guys, I want you to meet L. Banter fam, I want you to meet L. L has a great job. What he does, he shoots banter backstage. So he just shoots all day banter backstage.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
And so I do a damn good job.
He does it.
Maybe.
I do the talking. You pose. Okay. So everyone, this is L. L just got himself $500 of Three Kingdoms, which is actually times 20. You just got yourself $10,000, bro.
Oh, where my dude?
L just
retire, man.
Yeah, but you must come to work and do the behind the scenes. Okay, so L got himself $10,000 now. Someone in the audience is also going to get $10,000 because that is how we look after the Banter fam. We just change lives every day. So L's life just changed. You just got $10,000. How do you feel, L?
Oh my fuck.
No, don't swear. Don't swear. It's YouTube, bro. It's YouTube. It's YouTube.
Amazing.
It's YouTube.
I am.
Okay. Let's get into the show. There are giveaways to give away. Remember. Bybit. We are taking a snapshot between today and between the whole week and Friday, and then we are going to take 50 lucky winners that have Bybit accounts with our referral link, and they're going to get $1,000 or 1,000 BitDAO tokens. Yeah. So that's how it's going to work. You get it? If you don't have money in there, you've got a couple of days to do it. I'm not asking you to leverage trade. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm asking you just to put money in, take a snapshot. 50 people are going to win either $1,000 or 1,000 BitDAO tokens. I don't remember what it is. Also, we are going to be giving away Dream Quest. That's the other game that we did. So you see, there's the other game over here, Dream Quest. That's another game that we're giving away. Today, we're giving away $100 IDO giveaways. Also, tomorrow, there will be a show. There will be a show tomorrow, hopefully. Sheldon will do a show, and then maybe I will do a show from Dubai. I will try and do a show from Dubai. Please do me a favor. Smash the like button, because this is not a scheduled show. This is not a scheduled show. You know, our show usually comes much later. And we do want to tell people that we are live. And the only way to do it is if you smash the like button. So when we get to 5,000 likes, the numbers will go up. When the numbers go up, then we do giveaway. Until then, we just do information instead of giveaway. All right, let's look at the big story of the day. And I mean, it is quite a big story because a lot of people were talking about, let's just close this. This is, okay. So a lot of people were talking about this Bitcoin chart. So look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin was on an absolute tear. We were getting ripped to pieces because we were telling people, you need to get into alts, you need to get into alts, you need to get into alts. And I said to you guys, you need to be patient because something is going to happen. And when that something happens, money is going to flow out of Bitcoin. And then the question is, what happened to the money that flowed out of Bitcoin? Did the money that flowed out of Bitcoin, did it flow out of the ecosystem completely? Or did it go somewhere else? And if it did go somewhere else, then we should be able to track the flow of money, right? That's kind of like what we want to be doing. We want to be tracking to see why did Bitcoin go up? So why did Bitcoin go down? So we look at Bitcoin and we say, Bitcoin definitely went down. It went from 58,000 and it went all the way down to now 55,000, but it actually got as low as 53,910. And the question is why? What happened? What took the Bitcoin price down? One theory about why the Bitcoin price went down is because of this ETF thing. So there are currently four ETFs, big ETF. Remember, these are Bitcoin Futures ETFs. And the market expectation is that one of these four are going to be approved. One of the four that are for October are going to be approved. And that the one that's happening on the 1st of November, which is Galaxy on Mike Novogratz's company, is going to also be approved on the 1st of November. It's a Bitcoin Futures ETF. It's not a Bitcoin ETF. The futures doesn't need to buy any Bitcoin, but it is, like I said to you guys before, one step closer to getting an ETF. And the market may be getting a little bit nervous that since we are now only 5 days away and there hasn't been an approval, that we may need an approval. And so the headlines are starting to look a little bit dubious. So you're getting, these headlines coming out from big publications. I mean, I don't know who BTC Manager is, but I'm assuming that they're reasonable publication. They're saying US SEC Bitcoin approval may be delayed until 2022. My experience with these things is that if the SEC was going to delay, they wouldn't wait until the very last day to ask for the delay. But hey, who knows? And the market may be getting nervous that this ETF approval isn't going to come, and that is what may have caused Bitcoin to go down. That is one theory as to why Bitcoin may have gone down. But I don't think that that's what actually happened. Because, when I hear news, the first thing I do is I go and look at data. And I look at what is the data telling me about this news. And when I look at the data about what caused the Bitcoin dump, I see a whole lot of clues. The first clue that I see is that even though Bitcoin dumped, the dominance went down as soon as Bitcoin dumped. So you see, the dominance went down immediately. It went down from a ball hair away from 47, so 46.73, and it went all the way down to 44.97. Okay, so that happened. And then what I look at is I look at the time that this happened. So I look here and I say, what happened on the 12th of October that dropped the Bitcoin price so much? Because you see, as the Bitcoin price tried to drop, you can see it it's going to be more or less the same time when this red candle here happened. You see 12 o'clock on the 12th of October. And then here again, I don't even have to look because that's how easy it is. 12 o'clock on the 12th of October. So we know that money flowed from Bitcoin, but money didn't flow out the market. Money flowed into something, into somewhere. where did money flow? Because if you can track the money, then you could trade and you could make life-changing money. So then I went and looked at the on-chain analytics. And the on-chain analytics showed that something very strange happened. We had 3,871 Bitcoin flow onto exchanges. Why did Bitcoin dip there? Earlier this morning, we saw a large spike of approximately 3,900 Bitcoin moved onto exchanges. This correlates very well with the amount of sell volume we saw, pushing the price of Bitcoin down from 57. It wasn't 57, it was 58, and it went down to 54, not 55. Short interest, in other words, short sellers remained low, so this is not a short, and low to neutral during this time, but did spike upwards over the last few days. This tells us BTC moved to exchanges this morning and was sold on spot. Okay, so Bitcoin moved on to exchanges and it was sold on spot. Bang. And that took the price down from where it was all the way down. Okay, so who's selling? Because if you're getting someone who's coming into the market and saying 3,900 BTC, $218 million, because that's what moved the price down, who is selling? That's what you got to ask yourself, right? Sheldon, did you sell?
No, I bought.
Fred, did you sell? Hold on. Fred, did you sell 3,900?
A small amount than that, but I did sell some.
But you didn't sell 3,900?
No.
Okay, so it wasn't Fred. Jimmy, did you sleep in a tent once?
I've been known to be involved in things.
Okay, so we know it wasn't anyone here at Cryptobanter that sold. So it definitely wasn't any of us. The 3,900 Bitcoin it wasn't any of us. So who the hell sold? What we also know is that the exchange reserves, if you look at the exchange reserves, which is the blue line over here, it's very faint. I wish I could make it brighter for you. But we see that the exchange reserves, in other words, the Bitcoin held on exchanges, is also at a very, very, very low price. So what happened was 3,900 Bitcoin went onto exchanges, they were sold, drove the price down by $2,000 or $3,000, and you can see that nothing happened to the exchange reserves because it was all gone. So we learn very simply that the Bitcoin was sold to an institutional investor or a long-term investor who then just took it off the exchange reserve. So someone put it onto the exchange. You see, it's like everything's normal, everything's normal, everything's normal, everything's normal. Then sell lots of Bitcoin onto exchanges. Then bang, Bitcoin off exchanges, and then normal. Oh, what happened? So this is where Detective Run puts on his detective hat, and he says, he reads the newspaper, and it says, Binance will shut down Yuan Trading exactly at the same time. I mean, how uncanny is that? Binance will shut down the Yuan Trading after Beijing's crypto ban. So Binance issued a statement earlier than that, saying that they were going to shut down the Chinese Yuan Trading pairs on their peer-to-peer exchange. And that is the exchange that a lot of people are now using in China, because remember, Binance actually exited China a long time ago. And I think when Binance said this, people in China who had Bitcoin realized that they have to make a move. And if you were holding Bitcoin and you were sitting in China, and you now realize that the place where you can buy and sell Bitcoin is issuing a shutdown notice. It only shuts down on the 30th of October, of December, or 31st of December. But if you were living in China and you were holding Bitcoin and you were holding Bitcoin in your savings, okay, what would you do? Option one is you can exit the market. You can sell the money for Yuan, take the Yuan, run for the hills. Option one, dumb option, but you can do it. Option two, you say, I'm going to just hold Bitcoin. I'm going to hold Bitcoin. Put it in my cold wallet. The government can't touch it. I'm probably not going to be able to sell it very easily, but I'm going to hold Bitcoin. I don't think that's what happened. I think these guys, or someone, and it's not the miners. I know it's not the miners because the other data that I have shows me that it's not the miners. Look, you see, if I look at, that's not what I want. BTC miners are on the bull side now, despite China's crypto ban. Miners, including those who were in China holding Bitcoin mining wallets, there are no significant miner outflows compared to earlier this year. And the hash rate has absolutely recovered. I think I had a chart for you to show you how amazing the hash rate has recovered. If I don't, you just have to believe me. There we go, you see? According to CCAF, at the end of August, the United States accounted for 35.4% of global Bitcoin hash rate. After all that FUD, Bitcoin came out stronger because all that happened is we moved the money, the hash rate, from the yellow, which was China, to the orange, which is the United States. The United States gained, and China lost. So the miners aren't selling. So who is it that's actually selling? Because someone is out there and someone is selling. So I think it's the Chinese. And I think what the Chinese are doing, let me close that, is they read this, they say, okay, I've got an option. I can either exit Bitcoin into Chinese yuan, I can hold Bitcoin forever, or there's actually a third option which I can do. So what is the third option that you can do? What you need to do is you need to look at another chart if you want to understand the third option, and that's the ETH BTC chart. And then we go back to 12 o'clock on, let's look at 12 o'clock on the same day when Binance issued the announcement at 12 o'clock. So we look at 12 o'clock. What happened at 12 o'clock? The ETH BTC pair went up, which means that people sold their Bitcoin and put the money into ETH. Because why would they put their money into ETH? Because what they're saying is, if there's no exchange to be trading on, I need to be able to trade on a DEX and I need to be able to get into DeFi. And if I'm holding Bitcoin, then I can't get into DeFi. That's the problem. So if you're in China and you're holding Bitcoin, great, you can hold the Bitcoin forever, but you can't use BlockFi or Celsius or any other similar service provider. So what do? You take matters into your own hands. You go to the exchange, you quickly sell your Bitcoin, you buy Ethereum, and then you start doing DeFi. And that is why at exactly 12 o'clock, what happens? Look what happens. Bang. Over there, the ETH BTC pair starts to climb, the Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, and China is aping into DeFi. You want to see, don't believe me that's what happened? Well, let's look at, if you were entering DeFi, where would you go? Your options are to go to Ethereum, which you just saw what happened. You could have gone and done, you could have gone to BNB, right? You could have gone and you could have done DeFi on the Binance Smart Chain, right? Which is the BSC. And again, I don't even need to look here. I just go to 12 o'clock. Same time, people ape into BSC because Chinese people are thinking, if I trade out of my Bitcoin, because I'm not going to be able to trade out of Bitcoin, I need to take matters into my own hands. I need to become my own bank. I need to be on a network that I can buy, sell, and move shit around without having to be on an exchange. Where do I do this? Ethereum. A very good choice to do it on Ethereum. If you're not going to do it on Ethereum, do it on Binance Smart Chain. And so at 12 o'clock, bang, Binance Smart Chain shoots up. But there was also an announcement from Binance, which says that they're going to start a 1 billion crypto growth fund for blockchain, but it's not actually for blockchain. It's a 1 billion crypto block fund for Binance Smart Chain. Now, I find this kind of strange because CZ has always said that Binance Smart Chain has got nothing to do with him and it's decentralized, but yet he raises a $1 billion fund for a Binance Smart Chain, which is actually very decentralized and actually has nothing to do with Binance, but they raise a $1 billion fund. Okay. Just thinking about how that works. Okay, cool. It's very good. Very good. We believe you that it's decentralized, but I think this is good. The issue for me is that I don't think that the Binance Smart Chain can compete with chains like Avalanche and Solana. I think it was a good short-term solution. It was a good short-term solution while Ethereum couldn't scale and we didn't have options. But now that we have Solana and we have Ethereum Layer 2s, Nami, Matic, I don't think Binance Smart Chain is actually the right way to go. So money goes into Binance Smart Chain. Let's see where else money goes, because you got to follow the flow of money. My guess, and it's just a guess, I haven't actually checked this out, is that Cake, because Pancake Swap would also have all of a sudden risen. Why? Because money goes through the exchanges on Binance Smart Chain. So if I put my cursor here, it would probably be 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. You see, everything happened all at once. And then, where else would the money go? the money would probably go to UniSwap. Let's see what happened to UniSwap exactly at 12 o'clock. Oh, 1 o'clock. Oh, green candle. It's unbelievable how this works. So basically, what we're seeing here is money flowing out of Bitcoin into DeFi, and the money is not coming from people who are worried about the ETF yet, although it may come from people who are worried about the ETF. The money is coming from people who are in China and are worried that these exchanges are shutting down, specifically after the Binance announcement, and they're now getting their money into DeFi so that they can be their own bank and so they can have many other options and not only have their money in Bitcoin. Because if you got your money in Bitcoin, you're very limited. You can only have your money in Bitcoin, and you can buy, sell, and send Bitcoin. But this is about making money in DeFi and being able to do many, many, many things. And that is why they moved their money into Ethereum. Now, the question is whether that was actually enough to turn this dominance chart to break the trend. So, Sheldon, did we actually break the trend or not yet?
On support right now.
Sheldon says we're on support right now. So, I'm going to try and draw a support line because I'm not so good at lines. Is that right, Sheldon?
Yep.
It's a very bad line that I've drawn there, but you can see that we actually, not bad. Let's just move that slightly down. There we go. There's your trend line. Actually, no, Sheldon, we've broken the support. We definitely have broken the support. We're on the support, we're breaking the support. And what we're looking to see is if that was a big enough knock to Bitcoin to get the interest back into the altcoins. And if we get the interest back into the altcoins, then maybe that can start the altcoin season. The other thing that may take the dominance down is the story that I spoke to you guys about before, which is the ETF story. And if the ETFs aren't approved by the 18th, which is just a week away, then people may start running out of Bitcoin again. And the question is whether they're going to take the money out the market completely or whether they're going to put their money into altcoins. And that is exactly what we're going to have to check for. Sheldon. I'm going to miss him. I'm not taking him to Dubai because he's got a very big weekend planned. But such is life. Such is life. Alrighty, so let's look at what else is happening in the news. So question is whether the ETFs will get approved. If the ETFs don't get approved, then what's going to happen is the dominance is going to go further down and the altcoins are going to continue to run. Mark my words. Ran said it. If it is approved, great. Bitcoin spikes for a couple of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And then altcoins destroy Bitcoin. Either way, I think this Bitcoin dominance chart has limited days of climbing. I don't think we're going to see a third leg up. But hey, we may be wrong. We've been wrong once before, I think. I think there was once before that we were wrong. All right, let's see. What else is happening here? There are other things happening. Let's look at what else is happening. Let's close all these windows. Look at this. Look at this TTK. Look at that. Bro, your $10,000 just became $11,000. Yeah. Just be around us. Just be around us and your life will change. That is how it works. You see, Wu blockchain notes, it says Binance announcement led to decline in the cryptocurrency market with a liquidation amount of about 30 million in 1 hour. And people will long DeFi tokens such as DYDX, UniSwap, SushiSwap at this time. And that's exactly what happened. Clever man, Wu blockchain, clever organization. Also, 404,993 Banter family subscribers. Clever people. What else is there? You got to look at Rari. Remember, I told you guys to buy Rari. That was a long time ago. I told you like $12 or $13. Now, Rari has actually graduated into the $1 billion TVL club. So Rari now has over $1 billion in total value locked. So that's huge good news for Rari. And I think it's going to continue to grow and continue to grow and continue to grow. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing protocol. As you can see, with 1,105,000 total value locked. I think if you're looking for a long-term hold, I'm not saying ape into it now because it has climbed, but dollar cost average into this if you're looking for a DeFi play. Other news is that the International Monetary Fund, they wrote a report and they are saying that cryptonization is a threat to the global economy. What they're not saying is that governments are a threat to the global economy. They're just saying that crypto is a threat to the global economy. But they actually know that governments are actually the biggest threat to the global economy. So what they're saying here, they're saying, in the semi-annual Global Financial Stability Report, the IMF says adoption of cryptocurrency as a national currency, like what El Salvador did, carries significant risk and is an inadvisable shortcut. Okay, but why are they saying this? I'll tell you why they're saying this. Because they are worried that these small countries like El Salvador who rely on the IMF, and what the IMF basically do is they give you, as a small country, a third world country, you basically screwed because no one will give you money because your economy is definitely broke. And you're so small that no one will give you money. But the IMF does give you money. But in return for giving you money, what they do is they catch you by the balls. And they say, okay, we'll give you money, but you can't do this, and 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 you can't do this. And so now what they're worried about is they're not worried about, don't be stupid. They're not worried about the significant risks, which they talk about in the report. They're worried about losing control. That's what they're saying. The IMF said that cryptonization, such as El Salvador's recent adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender, could hamper central banks' efforts to set monetary policy, cause liquidity risk, and destabilize economies. Economies are already destable. The governments have already destroyed the currencies, and now that a nation is moving, they're starting to get upset. They also talk about stablecoins, and they're saying that Tether and USDC are potential threats to the global system, and they suggested substantial upgrades to legislation, and I think that they will get their substantial upgrades to legislation because no matter which way you look at it, stablecoins are actually securities because they're not backed by cash. They're backed by a whole basket of securities and tokens and loans and whatever else. That makes something a security. Now, I know we treat it as a stablecoin because we think it's backed as a stablecoin, but it is actually a security. I mean, I were to be honest, don't tell Gary Gensler, but I mean, don't tell him. Gary Gensler, speaking of Gary Gensler, we need to speak about him because he's like a chameleon. He's a chameleon. He changes colors. One day he's an MIT blockchain professor and saying that the SEC must give clarity, and then the next day he's prosecuting and saying he's going to litigate against everyone and not actually give any clarity. So let me show you what happened. This is from April 26, 2018.
Did somebody give you Bitcoin? Did somebody give you Ether when you're selling your token?
Hold on.
Do you have a common enterprise? I probably made some news earlier this week saying I think Ether itself or the Ethereum Foundation in 2014 passed this test, but that's in essence because they took Bitcoin for Ether. There was a common enterprise. I'm talking 2014, the Ethereum Foundation. There was a reasonable expectation of profits right in their offering. There was a 50% appreciation in the 42-day offering. And it was relying on the efforts and promoters of others. In essence, the Ethereum Foundation, or maybe a few months later when Joe Lubin set up consensus, but on others. Now, the Securities Exchange Commission will sort that through, and they'll sort through not just the 1,000 ICOs, but they're actively looking at all the large cap tokens. And they should, because the market needs clarity. The uncertainty as to whether Ether is or is not a security, it could exist for months, but at some point in time, it's worthwhile to sort of settle that down or have it fall into the courts and have some district court or appellate court address it.
So you see, he's a bit of a chameleon because, you know, when he wasn't at the SEC, he was all about, you know, the SEC's got to give, they've got to give clarity. But then when he is at the SEC, he's not actually talking about clarity. So very bad man. He's very bad man. I'll show you a very bad woman in a second. This is a very bad woman. So that what you saw now was very bad man. Now you'll see very bad woman.
One of the key cores in the Build Back Better bill that's been proposed is IRS cracking down on some unpaid taxes. Banks are starting to get calls from customers, and they're reporting these calls. They're concerned about its tracking of transactions that is greater than $600. So Americans are starting to be worried about this. Do you think that this pay for of giving the IRS more money to crack down on unpaid taxes is going to stay in the reconciliation.
You see, first of all, she's very rude. Like when I don't know, when people talk to me, then I look them in the eye. I don't fix my papers and do that. It's arrogance. I think it's really arrogant what's going on here. Really arrogant. Anyway, listen to what
Yes.
she says.
What do you say
Yes.
to Americans
Yes.
who are concerned
Yes.
about that?
Yes. Well, I mean, with all due respect, the plural of anecdote is not data. I've said that before here. Yes, there are concerns that some people have, but if people are breaking the law and not paying their taxes, one way to track them is through the banking measure. I think 600, but that's a negotiation that will go on as to what the amount is. But yes.
So just get what she's saying. She's saying every transaction as low as $600 will have to be reported by the banks. Every time you deposit or withdraw money from the bank, $600, you'll have to report, the bank will have to report it. Do you understand what that means? It means every time you go and eat at a restaurant in New York City, the bank will have to report that you ate at a restaurant. I mean, you get what, I don't know. Nancy, seriously, I think she's past her sell-by date. Really, I think it's time. I think it's time. Two more things that I want to share with you. One is, you want to see another smart man. Smart man is Raoul Paul. Now remember, on Friday, we have a banter with Raoul Paul, Yoni Assia, and Mark Yusko. But listen to what a degen Raoul Paul has become.
Solana is exactly following Ethereum. Ethereum's exactly following Bitcoin. It's like the magic is all in this network adoption, and it kind of all makes sense. The other two that are in that kind of fast growth, fast adoption phase where you see exponential price rises more than anything else is obviously Terra, probably Avalanche, and probably Polkadot.
So
Solana is exactly
very
following Ethereum. Ethereum's exactly following Bitcoin.
He's become very, 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 very smart, and he's become an absolute degen. And I'm going to speak to him about this. In January, I don't know if you remember this, but in January, Raoul Paul tweeted on the 22nd of January, Raoul Paul tweeted, he said, I'm thinking of getting into alts. Which alts do you think I should get into? And at the time, I tweeted back at him, and this is on our website. I said, you need to get into all these alts, but included in this list was Terra. Now, if he had just got in when I told him to get in, he would have made 39 times his money, 39 times his money. Actually, if he would have just got into this portfolio, even after everything that's happened, he would have been up 5x on his portfolio, which is not bad since January. That's not life-changing, but it's not bad. It's not bad for a portfolio that we created in January. Now, if you look at Bitlord told us to buy Axie Infinity. He said just buy one token, which was Axie Infinity. It told us at $4. Should have been listening to Crypto Banter in January, that's for sure. Okay, what else? There's other news. Okay, the last bit of news that I want to talk to you guys about is Polkadot. History was made when the upgrade was created, and now they can do the parachains. The front end isn't ready for the parachains, but the upgrade that allows for the crowd loans on the parachains is amazing. It's done. And so now we're waiting for a date. I think they're going to announce the date today. I think they're going to announce the date today, but if not, very soon the date will come. Yeah, that's it. All right, do we have 5,000 likes? We don't have 5,000 likes. Oh no. All right, so I will see you guys again tomorrow from Dubai. We do have another TTK to give away. You know who I'm going to give it to? I'm going to give it to a guy who's a friend of mine who built us an incredible office. You see this amazing office? He built this for us. His name is David Sanka. So Davey, as a little gesture of my appreciation for what you've done for us, you can have the $500 guaranteed ID allocation, which is right now worth $11,000, right? Right now, I've given the guy $11,000 over and above the lease and whatever else he did. But that's just to say thank you for building us an amazing, amazing workspace. And just by the way, on the 1st of November, we're going to open applications for anyone who wants to come and sit here in Cape Town in our offices. You just have to apply just so we can get you onto the register, and then you can come and sit here and work with us in the office. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Let's see, we've got 1 or 2 super chats. Let's see what they want. One day I will win on here, but no 5,000 likes. Banter family from India, make me rich. I'm just wondering who's fetching me from the airport tomorrow in Dubai. For those who are wondering, my flight number is EK771 to Dubai from Cape Town. I expect to see you all there with signs and Lamborghinis. Signs and Lamborghinis I want to see at the airport. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be posting updates from Dubai. I may even do a show. I will see you guys again soon. Until then, peace. Trade well, my friends.
So what's the story with the tent?
Don't bring it up, bro. Take from the bottom.